Good morning, guys.
Good morning.
Everybody.
Good morning.
Okay, but it doesn't look like we have any visiting Rotarians or guests or people. All right. Thank you, everyone. Okay, Rebecca, this is perfect. The next slide is for you. We continue to, let's see, ask you to collect stuff. So we're still planning on having our rummage garage, whatever you want to call it, sale on the 13th and 14th, Saturday and Sunday. You still haven't updated the slide. But yeah, see what you can find, ask your neighbors. If you've got big items, let our committee know, myself or Claire. And yeah, yay. So if Joyce were here, she would ask you, while you're looking through your things, if you find teddy bears, stuffed animals, she is collecting those for any kids that come into her courtroom. It's nice to have a teddy bear for them. And that is that. And she would explain more about that. She will. She's gonna, she better, she's part of the program. Ian, would you like to make your?
Good morning, everybody.
Good morning.
So it's been a while that the District 5130 has been working on youth protection outside the context of youth exchange. We all know that for youth exchange, there's lots of vetting needed, and for good reason. But we do a lot of different things with youth in the capacity of being a Rotarian. We do our mentorship for business, and we do sometimes dictionaries. We got Interact, all the different sorts of things that we engage with youth for. So the district approached the youth exchange side of things and said, you got this great portal system to do the vetting through and track progress and status and do these online quizzes. Can you build us something that does it just for Rotary in general? And they said, okay, give us 3 years, and they got it done. So, so here we are. And part of this comes from, the primary reason is that we want to make sure that the people involved directly with youth are vetted so that we know who they are and have a little background check, a brief interview, and an online session called the Youth Protection Awareness Training, so that everybody's starting from the same baseline of knowledge, knows the paths of reporting if there's an issue, and can be up to date on rules and regulations. And it also allows the district to afford the insurance that they buy and all our clubs subscribe to. So what that means for each of us as a Rotarian is if you have one-on-one direct involvement with a youth, a minor under 18, or if you have repeat interactions with youth, even in a group setting, if you're going to go to an Interact meeting weekly and be a host there, then we will provide you with vetting appropriate for that. That'll include the YPA online quiz. If you've never seen it before, it'll probably take you about 30 minutes. If you've been through it before, maybe 10 or 15. A brief interview with me. I've been assigned by Wolf Reinholtz, our district youth protection officer, as our club youth protection officer. And so I'll do a brief interview with you, and then I'll send you down to, I think, post case, or we set up an account there for a live scan. And that's once every 3 years, so not a huge burden. Up front, though, as a club, we've been asked to have everybody participate in the online YPA part, even if you don't think you're going to have one-on-one exposure or repeat exposure with youth, just so we're all coming from the same baseline. So watch for that in the coming weeks. You'll get a direct invite to at least take the quiz, and then I'll watch the committee charts and let you know if additional vetting would be appropriate for you. So we'll do that individually, but everybody will participate in that at some level, and we'll get it done. Our goal is to get that done within the month of August for our whole club. So thank you.
going through this process myself. It was really educational for me to take the quiz because they provide a nice little flow chart about the emotions of a high schooler in a foreign country. And it was, I guess, very helpful to know when to be the most attentive to, I don't have kids, to a kid. The holidays are especially hard. They're like, I didn't realize. So it's wonderful for us to know as a group when to be the most caring for somebody that's traveling from Uganda. I'll let Joyce get settled, and then we talked about teddy bears briefly, but I want to hear more about them.
I just like go.
Oh, go.
I was being supportive.
I gotta get down my purse, but I got here. So, in court, kids appear in court on sometimes a really good day because they're adoptions, and some days on crummy days when they're there because something's happened in their lives. We like to have teddy bears for them so that they have something to hang on to, something to take home. And if you're like me, there's lots from my kids' childhood. Well, I've spent all those. And so have the judges who are regularly there. So what we've never done before, what we're doing now is reaching out and asking folks to just gently use stuffed animals, clean. If you bring them here, we can get them there and get them to children in need. So it's kind of low key, no big deal, but it's a good way of getting rid of teddy bears and other stuffed animals that you think these have great memories. And my thought is take pictures of them to remember those memories and get them to other children who will make memories with them as well. So that's what we do with them. And they really appreciate it. So thank you.
I can't find the picture, but I have 3 pictures of you giving my kids
Yeah.
stuff.
So upcoming fellowship possibility, Arcata Noon Club does a monthly evening meeting. This one will be Wednesday, the 27th. They're going to take a tour of Miranda's Rescue and have dinner, and Molly was going to be here, but she has the details. So I guess that'll be next meeting or soon. So keep an eye out for that. And then nobody is here that was at this event. Oh, you were there. Oh, yes, ma'am. Would you like to talk about it?
Sure. We actually had a really good showing for Arcata Sunrise at this event. Romi and Jessica and Charlie and another newer member, I can't remember her name right now. Robin, thank you. Yeah, and so the outgoing president of Eureka Old Town, Clark Swan.
Eureka, not Old Town.
Sorry, Eureka. I don't know.
Almost got it.
I don't know. I got her name in the right order. Nobody corrected me on that. Held a meeting for just women in Rotary, and every woman here should have gotten an email. If you didn't, let me know, and I'll make sure Swan has you, or Clark has you to the email. But just really looking for, and I think every woman should have also gotten the follow-up email. Just looking for ways, especially with some of the political stuff that's going on, to just strengthen that camaraderie between women and look for ways for us to help. There's great room for both genders in Rotary, but women often get things done, and women are often the drivers. We're put in charge of home items so many times.
You're not thinking about quitting and starting your own.
Yeah,
No,
Okay.
and I'm not going to be president either of this club anytime soon until I get my kids stable. But yeah, no, it was a really nice event, and we're doing some follow-up. We want to make sure we've got like a community calendar, right? So we're not marking different events over each other. We're every club is trying to bring in a new woman member. We did that day 1, so we already got credit for bringing in a new women member, and then also looking to outreach to different organizations in the community, similar to kind of some of the stuff that our DEI committee is doing. So I think it's just a good thing. The more people are collaborating and working together for the betterment of the community is a good thing. Any questions?
And the next, I believe the next meetup is going to be in October at the Griffin. So just keep an eye out for that email.
Yeah, they're gonna try and do 4 over the year. Run them through the.
Right, like, and then Fortuna for one, and then McKinleyville, I believe is that, yeah. Okay.
There was a lot of like former district governors or assistant district governors and former presidents there. It was a little intimidating. It was like a kind of help share some communities.
Kind of a big deal. What are you talking about? So I wanted to thank the people that were, did the most last week for the committee fair. And Romi's not here. I know Jessica is not here. And Rebecca. I said there would be prizes. Here's an ice cream cone. And then Joyce, you're ready?
So the challenge with recognitions is there's never enough time to get to them all or to recognize a person for something that you found out and they're not there. It is maddening and insanity. So the one thing that I felt while we were doing stuff, but the fellowship is really important. The fact that we learn more about each other and share what's going on. So I have a new plan, as opposed to shaming people for their whatever Googling their name they end up being. And that is that this box is going to be here, and it's going to be a thank you box. But thank you is broadly categorized. Thank you that I woke up this morning. Thank you for something big, something little. It can be a brag as well, but I just thought a brag box sounded so like you had to have something to tell. And this is just something you want to share, something you want to thank, something you want to put out the energy. And I even brought some tablets that I hope will get used up, and I'll get more, to put in what you want to be thankful for. It's going to be over there. Maybe it'll move around. You have to look for it. That'll be a challenge. But
Don't make it hard.
but I'm actually going to have enough tables. But I'm going to put some papers on the tables, and if you go, we don't do any today. And the idea will be is that we'll grab them out, grab a few, and if there's a whole bunch in there, we may publish them. We give them to Dick to publish them, so we get that information out there. Because oftentimes there's not enough time to do it all, and you feel rushed, and that's so. This is an idea, and if it doesn't work, we're going to go with Plan B, which I don't have yet. But one of the things that I do know is that if you always have another plan, something's going to work. But this, I really thought that the thank yous that we were doing when we were doing videos, when you tap the next person, really resonated with a lot of people in a time that was needed. But this is just a broad thank you. So I want to thank you for sticking with me with these recognitions. And I hope this box gets filled up lots. So I'm going to put some paper on the table. You can start today, and it will be here on your way out, conveniently located.